Gentlemen, ready to crack the code of unspoken social cues? Reading body language is like having a superpower in your interactions and relationships. So, buckle up as we delve deep into a comprehensive guide on deciphering the silent language of legs and feet, inspired by the work of Joe Navarro. Stick around to elevate your social game sky high. Imagine the way we occupy space says heaps about us. Personal space is sacred, isn't it? Well, when that invisible bubble around us, stretching from a foot to a dozen, gets poked by someone less familiar, you'll definitely spot some distress signals. Now, culture, context, and closeness factor into the equation, so keep those radars sharp. Ever noticed how some folks have a stance as wide as their shoulders? That's called territorial standing. Usually, the wider the feet, the bigger the confidence. Cops and soldiers? Textbook examples. If you catch someone overstepping into another's territory, tension's sure to spike. It's an age-old intimidation technique that screams, "Challenge accepted." But what about angling to the side during chit-chats? It's actually a master move in avoiding direct confrontation. Approach folks at an angle, and you'll be received with open arms more often than not. Let's talk walking. Some exaggerate their shoulder swagger or hip sway to ooze confidence or allure. It's an art form. Now, let's park it and talk sitting. Ever sat down and watched someone else sit? Confidence is spelled O-P-E-N, while crossed or tightly closed legs often signal the exact opposite. Watch for quick shifts. They're telling you a story without a single word. Under stress in a meeting and suddenly those ankles lock up. That, my friends, is quintessential restraint, a visual whisper. Hold up, maybe I shouldn't say that. The dance of discomfort doesn't stop there. Ever witnessed someone's legs practically strangling a chair during an intense moment? Red alert, gents, discomfort's in the air. High stress situations? There's likely a knee-clasped lean-back situation happening. And that impulse to bolt when leaning forward? Knee clasping while leaning forward, a subtle telltale sign they'd rather be anywhere but here. Switching gears to the defensive play, crossing a leg as a barrier. It's discomfort 101. If it's the leg closest to you, it might just be you causing the ripple effect. Feeling laid back and owning the room? Observe the leg draping over chairs or objects. But on the flip side, if you find someone repeatedly rubbing their legs, they're probably trying to self-soothe amidst a storm of nerves. Leg jittering and shaking? Sure, it might be a habit, but it's often a neon sign for restlessness or jitters. Kids hug their knees for comfort, but adults? It's a sign they might be reverting back to their inner child to cope. Spot someone with crossed legs while standing? That's comfort speaking volumes. But legs uncrossing? Comfort just left the building. Kicking legs while seated? Oh, that's a classic case of trying to shake off the unease. Jumping for joy? Literally, jumping, folks, it's the hallmark of exhilaration and triumph. Moving to the feet, these dogs can tell stories about status, occupation, and upkeep. First impressions might just be footprint impressions. Dragging feet, it's not just about the scuff marks, it's about showing impatience or nerves. As for ankle scratching, that's another calming tactic. But when someone's feet freeze, that's a red flag signaling fear has entered the chat. Withdraw those feet sharply, and you just broadcasted discomfort to the whole room. Playing footsies? A subtle dance of attraction if done repeatedly. A single foot angling away? That's the body's way of hinting, I'd rather be elsewhere. Now, if both get in on the action, aiming towards an exit, it's possibly a silent SOS, they're just not into this engagement. Feeling shy or exposed? Toes might sneak inward. But toes pointing up? That's someone riding a wave of positive vibes. Bouncy, happy feet, they're like barometers of bliss. And for the foot tappers out there, it's either rhythm, habit, or a ticking countdown to, "I'm done waiting." Pacing? It's the human equivalent of a loading bar when we're caught in a mental labyrinth or just plain stressed. Get this. Our feet nudge towards things or people we fancy. Spot someone's feet directed at another person? That's desire without dialogue. Now, if you see someone spiraling into a leg tantrum, flailing feet, and all that straight-up frustration on display. A couple of impatient stamps? That's the feet's method of saying, "You've crossed the line, buddy." Toe wiggling? Can be a tickle of excitement or simple time passing. Ladies, shoe dangling? It's relaxed, flirty, and all about the comfort zone. We've just dissected the language of legs and feet. And remember, to truly test your newfound knowledge, watch this again, mute the sound, and see if you can still decode the silent stories being told. Want to go even deeper? Perfect, because we aren't done yet. There's a whole series dedicated to making you a body language guru. For those itching for the next episode, keep your eyes peeled on our newsletter sign-up links right below. Might as well snag that freebie while boosting your self-improvement journey. Before you vault into action, remember to hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and leave us a like. It's your ticket to mastering the unsaid, the secret handshake to social mastery. As we wrap up, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in and absorbing every ounce of insight. If you found this video to be of value, why not consider leaving a tip in the link below? Let's continue to grow and conquer together. Stay sharp, stay curious, and as always, stay tuned. Welcome, gentlemen. Picture this. You're in a room full of potential allies, and your success hinges on winning their trust. Crucial? Absolutely. That's why we're launching into a comprehensive analysis of body language, specifically homing in on legs and feet, the silent but powerful communicators. We're unpacking gestures, postures, and movements, all gleaned from a leading authority in the field. Let's just say, if body language had a Bible, this would be it. Buckle up, as we're about to dissect the unspoken cues that could seal the deal in friendships or elevate your rapport to new heights. Now, let's plunge deeper into the art of spatial distancing. Your bubble of comfort is sacred, and when someone encroaches on it without the right level of camaraderie, it's like an alarm bell for your instincts. There's a whole spectrum of acceptable distances, from the wide berth given to strangers to the up-close interlacing reserved for your innermost circle. Watch for the subtle hints of discomfort that come with uninvited closeness. It's a cross-cultural dance of distance and respect. Next up, territorial stances. Consider your legs the baton of authority. The wider your stance, the bolder the statement. It's no coincidence that high-ranking officials stand like they own the turf. Yet beware, stand too close, and you're sending signals of challenge, even aggression. It's a fine line between assertion and affront. Ever noticed a slight angle while conversing? That's tact at play, minimizing confrontation and easing the flow of dialogue. It's a subtle twist with profound impact. Embrace it and watch barriers melt away. Striding through life, your gait speaks volumes. The calculated sway of hips, the assertive roll of shoulders, each is a chapter in your personal narrative of allure and confidence. Onto seated leg etiquette. Notice how a breezy spread screams confidence while a tight tuck whispers uncertainty. It's about reading the room and knowing when the cultural script calls for modesty over boldness. What about when someone's ankles bind like they're shackled by invisible chains? It screams restraint. Teeth are biting back, words are drowning in discomfort. It's a telltale sign that pressure's building and comfort's on the wane. During interactions, keep an eye out for the knee clasp, a textbook symbol of tension. Leaning back? It's high-stress territory. Leaning forward? It's almost an unspoken plea to exit. Observe the leg cross. It's as if you've erected a wall with your limbs. It's a knee-jerk shield against discomfort, and if it's the leg nearest you that's doing the barricading, you might just be the culprit of unease. Draping a leg carefree over objects is the posture of the unflappable, those who claim their space with audacious ease. Contrast that with the thigh or knee rub, a soothing motion intended to pacify nerves amidst turmoil. Ever caught yourself with a bouncing knee or tapping foot? It's the restless drumbeat of anxiety, though, for some, merely a force of habit. And visualize the jubilant leap, a burst of elation that transcends sport and symbolizes triumph in the game of life. Now, step into the world of footwear, a veritable billboard of your status and lifestyle. A polished shoe can mirror a polished life, a grounding first impression of wealth and steadiness. But footwear isn't where the story of feet ends. Dragging soles can be the hallmark of impatience, while ankle scratching serves as a subtle balm for stress. In moments of fright, feet might as well be ice. They freeze in place, signaling the surge of fear. Watch for the quiet retreat of a foot. It's almost a whisper of unease. A pair of feet veering toward an escape path? It could be a silent indictment of dislike or discomfort. Toes scrunched inward speak of fragility, while an upward tilt is the foot's own way of grinning its pure, positive vibes. A bouncy foot is nearly dancing with joy. Poker faces, be warned. Your feet may give away the game's delight. Then again, foot tapping isn't a straightforward script. It can synchronize with rhythm, tick away time, or sound the drum of impatience. Pacing is the march of the troubled thinker, or one battling an inner storm. And in the theater of attraction, watch how feet instinctively pivot toward the one who's captured your fancy. But let's not overlook leg tantrums. Chaotic and errant, they dramatize a tempest of anger or frustration. And listen for the foot stomp, a thunderous ultimatum demanding attention. Ever caught yourself toe wiggling? It may just be basking in good feels, or perhaps an unassuming countdown to pass time. And what of the shoe dangling? Often a woman's stamp of ease, it can also be an overture of attraction, a flirtatious rhythm set by the foot. Should you witness legs and feet in frenzied flux, it could be an alarm, a red flag that perhaps assistance is due. Gentlemen, we've trekked through the atlas of leg and foot linguistics. Revisit this visual feast with your ears on pause, test your prowess, see if you can decode the silent orchestra sans prompts. The human form is a tapestry of tells, and we're just getting started. Stay vigilant for consecutive volumes in this body language anthology, and enhance your social cunning. As we close this chapter, remember, knowledge is a gateway. Open it wide. If you found these insights resonant, consider expressing your appreciation with more than just words. Your support fuels this odyssey of enlightenment. Don't forget, gentlemen, subscribe, like, and ring the bell of notifications. It's your key to unlocking the full trove of wisdom on offer. Now tell me, which stratagem will you deploy in your next conquest of social landscapes?